As ECU prepares to move into its new city campus in 2026, attention is turned to what happens next for the Mount Lawley site, and the planning needle has moved from concept to action. So in September, the West Australian Planning Commission, WAPC, advertised a Metropolitan Region Scheme, MRS, amendment for the ECU Mount Lawley site. That advertisement period is the first formal statutory step in getting the redevelopment ready for delivery. At a high level, the amendment proposes three things. First, to rezone the ECU Mount Lawley campus from public purposes, tertiary education, to predominantly urban. That single change is what enables the site to transition from an education campus to a mixed urban neighbourhood. It doesn't set out detailed zoning yet, as the MRS urban zoning is only overarching in nature and provides the green light that allows the finer grain planning, being residential, mixed use and centres, to be put into place next. Second, to apply public purposes high school to the portion associated with Mount Lawley Senior High School. So that secures the ongoing education use and aligns with the draft master plan's education hub concept on the southern site. Third, a minor modification to the other regional roads reservation, being a small truncation at Central Avenue. This is essentially mapping tidy up so the regional roads layout reflects what's actually needed on the ground, and it helps later when detailed intersection design and streetscape upgrades move forward. So why does this step matter? The MRS sits above local planning schemes. Moving the campus to MRS urban zoning tells everyone, City of Stirling, Development WA, service agencies and the market, that the land is no longer reserved for tertiary use and can progress to an urban neighbourhood. Once the WAPC considers submissions and finalises the amendment, the next cab off the rank is a precinct structure plan. That's where we'll see the street network, public open space, built form parameters, land use, distribution, densities and staging set out in detail. So this will be alongside technical work, being traffic, servicing, remediation, tree retention and the undergrounding of the 132 kilovolt line flagged in the master plan. So how does it line up with the draft master plan? The June draft redevelopment master plan sets out a clear framework. 900 to 1100 dwellings, an urban format primary school, 15% public open space and adaptive reuse of key buildings, library, administration and WAPA to retain the site's creative identity. The MRS urban reclassification is what allows that framework to become statutory through the PSP. So what does it mean for local commercial property? This is a rare 18.6 hectare inner north infill with established transport along Alexander Drive and multiple nearby centres, so Beaufort Street, Inglewood and North Perth. The housing mix, being terraces, townhouses, group housing and apartments, fits WA's current demand profile. Downsizers staying local, families seeking walkable choices and key workers wanting proximity to jobs and services. So whilst the loss of ECU to Perth CBD may have a potential negative impact on some of the businesses in the area in the short term, the addition of 2,000 to 3,000 permanent residents plus workers in the area, who are on average likely to spend more than a uni student per day, may improve the commercial prospects in the longer run. Importantly, the Gateway precinct will feature mixed-use developments including retail and cafes and restaurants and potentially a supermarket. This area has been specifically chosen for these ground floor commercial outcomes as it sits on the busy corner of Central Avenue and Alexander Drive with exposure to around 40 to 50,000 cars per day.